If you're one of the girlies with PCOS who has a very hard time losing weight, I'm a registered dietitian specializing in women's health, and I'm going to give you all my secrets right now so that you can actually finally start to see some change. And hi, if you're new here, I'm Lainey, dietitian, certified personal trainer, posting tons of this stuff for free on my page. So drop in the comments if there's anything in particular you want to know next, and I might just make a video answering that question. So jumping right in, if you have PCOS, you understand that this is a metabolic condition, which means metabolically, you're not really functioning the same way as somebody who isn't insulin resistant or doesn't have some kind of hormone imbalance, which means very often the bro science just doesn't apply to you. That's why calories in, calories out strictly just doesn't seem to make a difference when it comes time to actually seeing fat loss. So first thing that you can do, go get your insulin and your glucose checked and determine if you have insulin resistance. I want you to look up HOMA IR score on the internet, go plug in your fasting glucose and fasting insulin numbers. If your result comes back over 2, that means you're insulin resistant. This can come in varying degrees, everybody's different, but most of the time with PCOS, insulin resistance does play a role in why it's so hard for you to lose weight. Once we know if you're insulin resistant, we can take a couple different routes. Very often you'll be prescribed metformin, and I know that this is a stigma, but it does significantly help with improving your insulin sensitivity. When you have a lot less free insulin floating around in your bloodstream, not only are you going to store your sugar as fat a lot less, but you're also going to be able to mobilize the fat that you have stored and use that for energy. However, if you can't get your labs done because it's not always possible, there's still a lot of other things you can do. Most importantly, you need to be focusing on your body composition, not just the number on the scale. You need to be strength training, you need to be building muscle. Muscle is such a metabolically active tissue compared to body fat that at rest, it's burning more calories for you, and it's also what's providing the shape to your body and helping you get that lean and toned look. And if you are insulin resistant, it's also going to help with glucose uptake and help to naturally manage that without you even really trying. Not to mention the positive effects it has on your blood sugar in the moment and for hours after during the day when you do a session of strength training. So I suggest to start strength training 2 to 3 times a week, get a program that has structure, progressive overload, hypertrophy. You want to think about this as how are we progressing through this programming so that you can actually see real gains and actually build quality muscle without just spinning your wheels and doing random workouts. And I'm not saying that Pilates and yoga and stuff are bad, but they are not building muscle for you the same way that actual intentional good quality strength training programming will. So go pick up some weights and don't be afraid of it. That is going to help you so much in the long term. And also, this is a long-term process. It takes a long time to build quality muscle, so there's never a bad time to start than the present. Number 2, walk for 10 minutes after meals. Whether you're insulin resistant or not, but especially if you are, this can significantly help with breaking down the food and with stabilizing your blood sugar levels and preventing unnecessary insulin from being secreted. And in doing so, this is going to help reduce the amount of insulin floating around. And again, that's going to help with using your glucose for energy and not storing it as body fat. And since PCOS can oftentimes cause GI problems and bloating, it can also help with your overall digestion. Number 3, you have to be sleeping at night. This is so important for balancing your blood sugar and regulating your hunger cues during the day. When we sleep, this is our rest and digest time. If you're strength training, if you're trying to work out during the day, you need to be resting. You need to be giving your body that opportunity to chill out and compartmentalize everything. And that way you are good to go and you are nice and balanced hormonally and metabolically when you wake up the next day. Number 4, you need to be eating enough protein. Protein is what will balance your blood sugar levels and will help to build your muscle mass and help you with recovery after workouts. It's also massively important and helpful for managing cravings, especially if you're insulin resistant. Again, notice the trend here. If you're insulin resistant, that protein is going to help to reduce sugar cravings and keep yourself balanced during the day. And that leads me into the next one. You need to be balancing that protein with a fiber-rich carbohydrate. Fiber-rich carbs are going to digest more slowly, and they're going to make sure that you're not spiking your blood sugar. So when you're balancing your protein and your carbs throughout the day, you're going to have a nice stable blood sugar level. And this also means don't go longer than 4 to 5 hours between meals. Keep your meal times consistent. We don't want the big rises and falls in our blood sugar levels. Next, make sure you're focusing on healthy fats. We want to prioritize unsaturated fats, so avocado, nuts and seeds, nut butter, olive or avocado oil, salmon, fatty fish. There's oftentimes a level of inflammation associated with PCOS that somebody who doesn't have PCOS or insulin resistance just doesn't have. So we want to really make sure we're having those anti-inflammatory fats to help balance that out. And if you want any supplement suggestions, the 2 that I suggest are called inositol and berberine. These are both over-the-counter things that you can get either on Amazon or from a brand called Thorne that I like, Thorne with an E, and they can be really, really helpful in regulating your cycle, helping with hormone balance, and helping with insulin resistance. I'm going to put the name of the actual inositol up here, but it's a ratio that when taken consistently, you want to take 2 grams in the morning, 2 grams at night. It's a flavorless powder, or you can get it in pill form, but if you're like me and you can't take pills, I like to just do the powder in the morning when you brush your teeth, and then again at night when you brush your teeth again, so that you don't forget. This can be massively helpful for balancing out the body, regulating your cycle, and just alleviating some of those symptoms that are commonly associated with PCOS. Berberine is sort of a natural alternative to metformin. So start by taking 500 milligrams once a day before breakfast, and then work your way up to taking it before each meal, so up to 1500 milligrams a day. This really can help with stabilizing your blood sugar levels and helping with improving your insulin sensitivity, and it can help to regulate your appetite and reduce cravings. And lastly, no, there's not really a PCOS specific diet. I almost never suggest cutting out gluten and dairy because, for the most part, the foods that are high in fiber and have those good quality protein sources coming from dairy, it's just going to be more limiting for you to cut that out, and you're going to be missing out on those benefits, and the benefits are going to outweigh any potential negatives that you're getting. Overall, we suggest following a more Mediterranean diet or anti-inflammatory diet pattern, which I will make a video on specifically so that you have a better idea of how to structure that. These are my main secrets. If you have PCOS, be patient. You're not broken. I promise I see you. I hear you. Metabolically, bro science doesn't apply to you, so don't drive yourself crazy if you've had a hard time losing weight. I hope this stuff helps. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll be sure to answer as many of your questions as I can. Okay, bye.